This is a quick video, just a little update video. I haven't been doing any work in the shop for a couple days here, and I run the air conditioner, of course, but it's been awful hot. Terrible heat. We got our ACs, got 3 ACs running in the house and keeping the house at about 74, 75 degrees. The main thing is it gets the humidity out. I got a speaker for this from Bob, and it's right here. He pulled it out of a Zenith, old junk chassis, and it has an output transformer, and he's going to look up the output tube that was in this radio, and it'll let me know, see how close of a match it is to the one that's in there. But I think this will work quite well. Let me get you a little closer here. With all that space down there in the chassis, as you can see here. Now, the wires are rubber coated and they're coming apart, the insulation that is. I ohmed this out. I don't recall what was what here. I'm getting about 176 ohms, so it's going to be close on the impedance, I think. But well, let's check this out right now. Let me just set you on a little tripod. Alright, I'm going to try to ohm this out. If I don't knock the camera over doing it. I don't remember what the readings were. $169.1 ohms. It helps if I put my glasses on. Bad habit of not putting my glasses on. I can't see as it is. Okay, from the two outside windings, there seems to be a center tap here on the red one. And between the center tap and the outside is 2.3 ohms. That's what's mysterious about this output transformer. And from the red center tap to this side is 166 ohms. 0.9. 167 ohms. So between these two, I'm getting 2.3 ohms between the red and the brown, I guess you would call it. Between the two outside ones, I'm getting 169.1, and between the center tap and the left hand outside, the blue, what little piece of rubber's left that's blue, a blue wire, is 166.9. So there's low resistance between here and here. So this couldn't have come out of a push-pull output, because it would have to be balanced fairly close. Not such a low resistance. So I'm getting a very low resistance here. And from here to here, I'm getting 160 some ohms, and from here to here I'm getting 160 some ohms. So not a problem. It's a single end anyways, and there is no tie to the, I measured it with the ohm meter, there's no tie between this and the secondary. The only thing about this speaker is the cone looks good, but got a little rubbing voice coil here. But I think it'll work out, and it's the same size. It's the same size as this speaker here. Exactly the same. So we gotta cut out these rivets, and it's so damn hot outside. that I don't think I can use my Dremel tool. I don't have a cutting wheel for it. I'd have to use my Harbor Freight, and that's quite large. That's either a 2-inch or a 3-inch, I don't remember now. And I can get behind here and cut them. If I can't, I'm going to spend all day drilling these out from this side. I can't drill them from the other side. And then I can put 2 bolts and nuts in here, but I won't be able to put anything down here because I'd have to remove this condenser block, and I really don't want to remove the condenser block. I'd rather just cut the wires off and put the capacitors underneath. Leave this in for, you know, just for appearance. I'm going to address some questions that were posted on my last video. Some have suggested using a power resistor, which is what I was going to do. But we're going to use a capacitor. We're using 8 microfarads, 250 volt AC fan capacitor, like I used in my Hallicrafters S86. The difference is it's an 8 microfarad versus a 10 that's in there. And some of the fellows have told me that's the value you want to use in here. We got to drop 49 volts, 300 mils on the filaments. And one of the fellows said, take the number 53 and put it in the circuit with the tubes. So I can do that, I guess. That should work, and that way that bulb will also light. So we're going to do that. Some of you have suggested using a diode. I thought of doing that. Another fellow suggested using a neon bulb. Well, that won't work at all. The bulb will light, but that's about it. So that is out. So we're going to use a fan capacitor. I've ordered it from eBay, which is my easiest place to order things from, for $4.99 free shipping. And it'll take about a week or a week and a half to get here. Not a problem. Bob's not in a hurry for this radio. And when I talked to Bob this morning, today is Friday, he said it's no problem. He didn't have any problem putting a capacitor in here. Now, some have suggested the capacitor might be too large. Well, it's not going to be any larger than the one that's in the S86. And it may not fit under here, but it should fit right up here. I can just bring the leads right down through the socket of the 2 pins that I'm going to connect it, the circuit to, and just have it sitting right up here. Because Bob isn't worried about what the radio looks like so much. He didn't seem to be concerned about the type of speaker, since this was a moving vein and we're putting this in. But some of your radios that are similar to this, like the Airline 701, 2, and 3, which is the schematic I've been working off of, and John from Arkansas gave me the same link, but I've already had that schematic, and that's this one right here. Some of those radios used a field coil speaker with an output transformer, so it shouldn't be a problem putting in a permanent magnet speaker, which is almost identical to what's in here now. So the hardest thing is going to be to drill out those rivets and get this thing out, because it's ready to come right out. And then I can connect these leads directly to the output transformer using the 2 outer leads, the brown and the blue. There's a little bit of blue here, you can see it. Like I say, this reads 3.2 ohms from here to here. From here to here, it reads 160 some ohms. From here to here, it reads 160 some ohms. So this, you would think that this would be a B+ feed for the windings in push-pull, but that's not the case. Normally an output transformer would have 3 wires if it's going to have 2 audio output tubes in push-pull. Now, Bob is going to get back to me and tell me what the output tube is on this radio that he junked. And that will give me an idea of the impedance of this transformer. But I think regardless of what the impedance is, it should work. My only other issue is that coil that I showed you with the wires off underneath. Down here, a little piece of wire hanging here. You might be able to see it with my fingers pointing. Well, I have to work on that and get that going. There's one issue though. There may be a heat of the cathode short on the 43. As I mentioned in my other video, position A of my Radio City Products Model 308 tube tester, and position A of the tube selector shows a short. As the tube warms up, it does not show it when it's cold. So that might be a problem. Heat of the cathode short, you've got your 120 volt filament string going through here, and you've got your B plus on the cathode. It's not good to have a heat of the cathode short on this tube. Now Bob gave me a box of tubes. Right down here, they're all old, no 43s in here. And some of them, the grid caps are off of. But there's no 43s in here. This is a 6CD6. That's a horizontal output tube for a black and white television. This one's a 78. Kind of down under the bench here. It's kind of hard to see. So, I mean, there's a mixture of tubes, Locto, some metal tubes, but no 43. That looks like an AD rectifier. Yep, it is. I can see it right there. So he just told me to take the tubes if I need them for anything. Anyway, so that's nice of him to do that. He also gave me, well, he gave me a green cord, or power cord. He says he got this real cheap extension cord, polarized. But I think I might put a black one on there. And he gave me, this is some old cloth covered wire. He's got several hanks of this, so he gave me this one. And it's not the kind of cloth wire you can pull back, but it appears to be some kind of cloth or something. So that would be perfect for doing radios like this. And it appears to be 18 or 20 gauge. So maybe this weekend, this is Friday night now, about 20 minutes past 8 in the evening here. And maybe sometime this weekend. It's been miserably hot. Very, very, very hot. And we've got all 3 air conditioners, as I said, running in the house. None of us can take the heat, and you know, especially when it gets humid and everything, you can't sleep at night. We get the air conditioner on all night. And when it's real hot out, we push it down to 72. But we usually keep it on 74. And the bedroom, we don't have a temperature on the air conditioner. It has a number, and we keep that on 6, I believe. It goes up to 8 or something like that, or 9. And sometimes it'll get a little cold and I shut it off. But we got 3 air conditioners running, 15,000 BTU, 5,500 in my son's room, and a 6,000 in the master bedroom where my computer is. And All three of them are running. Well, right now the master bedroom is closed and the air conditioner is off. When I leave this shop, I'll be shutting this off because we don't want to have all this heavy drain here on the power. It's too much. So anyways, I'm getting off subject here, but I have to drill this, take my cutter and cut these rivets outside. I can't do this on the bench and get all metal filings all over everything. And it's got to be a hell of a lot cooler than it is now before I can work out there. So, I can take a day that's fairly warm, but as long as the humidity is low, it's not into the 70% range, it's a murder, you know. I just can't take it. None of us can. So when I can get a good day, I'm going to drill this out. I won't do that on video probably. Get the speaker out and get the speaker in there. And by that time, or it'll be very close to the time, I'll be getting my 8 microfarad 250 volt AC capacitor, fan capacitor to put in here. That'll take care of the ballast. Alright. Thanks for watching. More to come to a computer near you when things cool down a little bit.